Premier League is back and Chelsea are back, but in typical Chelsea fashion, we return with even fewer players than when we left for the international break in the first place. 9 or maybe even 10 players now make the current injury list, with Chilwell, who played in both of England's friendly against Brazil and Belgium, yet suddenly he's not fit again to play against Burnley. I, for one, have my speculations, if you care to listen to what I have to say, as to what is the protocol for fitness or injuries at this club at this point. Is it even, is it the slightest knock? Is it the slightest of fatigue? The slightest glimpse of anything but 100% match fitness that is deemed a concern and that leads to an absent player? Chilwell was perfectly fine to play 67 minutes and 90 minutes respectively in the last week for England, yet for absolutely no reason besides fitness, of which he showcased by playing those games. He can play over 157 minutes, but then ends up being unfit. Fatigue, sure, I get that. But that comes with the territory that games come at you quick, especially at Chelsea and when you're playing at international level. Pochettino came out and said that he revealed that he was surprised that Chilwell featured so heavily for the Three Lions, despite his recent return to full fitness. So what does that tell us? Does that tell us that Pochettino doesn't even know what the issues are anymore? Are the backroom staff and fitness department just being overly cautious with these players, wrapping them in bubble wrap to avoid any actual injuries? Any actual injuries. It just seems also confusing. And not only that, but we are so regularly not told the full story behind some of these injuries. What is going on with Fofana? What has exactly caused Lavia to be out for the remainder of the season? In detail, where is Nkunku? Where is he? He's back, and then he's not, and then he's back for like 20 minutes, and then he's fucked off again. I don't understand. We need answers. We need answers. In other parts of the Chelsea world, it doesn't end there. And an international break for many people is a break from club life, but it just never ends. The cycle never ends. In other parts of the Chelsea world, it is said that Todd Boehly is set to step down as Chelsea chairman in 2027. Don't get too excited just yet. It's 2027, 3 years away. This change is part of a unique arrangement by the club's principal owners, Clearlake, who possess the authority to alternate the chairmanship every 5 years. The transition is anticipated to occur at the conclusion of the 2026-2027 season. Feel like this is something that would have been raised a lot earlier on that right now, with tensions being as high as they are between fans and the clubs and certain, Chelsea supporters trusts and all that. It's not exactly a good relationship between any fan and the board right now, or like the backroom, everything. It's all still up in the air. Boehly will maintain his ownership share in Stamford Bridge and can opt to resume the chairmanship in 2032 if he wishes. So it's a bit like a presidency. If you can miss it for 4 years, but then also you can't necessarily get the 4 more years sort of situation. The decision for his replacement was made in good spirits, and does not reflect on his tenure, which is, the last bit of that being that he's made it in good spirits would indicate that even Todd himself was unaware that this structure was in place. It seems like it's almost just been sprung on him, and then it's like, oh, by the way, you're out the door in 2027, by the way, geez. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem like everyone was on the same page. This strategy is viewed as an opportunity to inject new ideas and perspectives into the club's leadership to sustain its on-field achievements, of which at the moment you haven't really got anything going on at the moment. You know what I mean? Anyway, back to the game and Chelsea. Oh, no, actually, I say, where would this really leave the likes of Barley? who is arguably a bigger problem with decision-making than Todd. It remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. Anyway, again, back to the game against Burnley. And as we all know, when it comes to games like this, where you think it's a shoo-in, it's a guarantee. It should be a guarantee. It should be a formality. Chelsea always come into these games with some absurd record to be broken. This game is no different. Chelsea's only defeat in their 17 Premier League games against Burnley came at home in August of 2017, a game that I was present for, which was the opening game that season. 3-0 down at half-time. I remember being there and it being a not so good environment to be in, a very hostile environment, as it obviously first game of the season. We'd never lost to Burnley, and with 3-0 down against, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a newly promoted Burnley side as well. Goals from Morata and David Luiz weren't enough to complete the comeback. The Blues have scored in every single one of our 17 encounters, their best goal-scoring run against one team. However, 4 of the 5 matches in which the Clarets have avoided defeats have been at Stamford Bridge. For Burnley, they have taken 4 points from their last 2 outings. The first time this season they have gone unbeaten in consecutive games. The Clarets have lost all 9 league away fixtures in which they have gone a goal behind. Vincent Kompany could become the 3rd manager to lose 20 or more of his first 30 Premier League matches, following Mick McCarthy and Graham Taylor. For Chelsea, the Blues have won 5 of our last 6 home league fixtures. A much softer, a much nicer sight than what it was last season, that's for sure. 1 more than we had managed in our previous 22. We scored in 12 consecutive games for the first time since 2019. However, the Blues are in danger of conceding multiple goals in 5 successive home games for the first time in a run of 8 since 1991. Mauricio Pochettino and his side need 1 more league win to eclipse the season's final total of 11 last season. 11 wins. Are you mad? Are you taking the piss? 11 wins last season. Cole Palmer has been directly involved in 19 goals in 19 Premier League starts since since the start of his campaign, scoring 11 times and registering 8 assists. Palmer has scored in each of his last 5 starts at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Nicholas Jackson has 9 goals and 9 yellow cards in 24 Premier League appearances this season. He could become the 3rd player to reach 10 for both in his debut season in the competition, after Paolo Di Canio in 97-98 and Charlie Adams in 10-11. Team news, and as I said at the beginning, it is now 9 confirmed absentees, with Ben Chilwell's inclusion looking doubtful despite having played 90 minutes against Belgium just a few days ago. Chelsea will also have to check on the fitness of Cole Palmer and Ben Chilwell, who both returned to England duty, from England duty with knocks. Chelsea, Malo Gusto should recover from a virus, but Carney Chukwuemeka, as we know, and Trevor Chalobah, Robert Sanchez as well, are all sidelined. Predictions-wise, Chelsea have to win here in order to keep any semblance alive for European football next season. For me, that dream has long gone. That ship has sailed in terms of any hopes and dreams of that from myself. How on earth I keep seeing people insisting that there is still a chance that we could get it is beyond me. FA Cup apparently gives you Europa League, but I need confirmation on that, especially based on the performance that we see from week in, week out. For this game, however, I have said all week on the streams on my channel that 2-0 seems to be the score I feel is most possible or probable. I can never truly discount the possibility of us conceding, but with Burnley having only netted 29 goals this season, 29 goals in 29 games, a clean sheet would be a welcome sight for Petrovic, who hasn't seen one in the league since early January.